That's right, we are live. It's just unfortunate that sometimes you don't have quite enough hands to hold all of the things all of the time, which means there is sometimes a very small delay between actually doing things and doing things. Now, is that an unfortunate coincidence? Or do I have no battery in my controller? I have no battery in my controller. Awesome. One moment, and that will be rectified. Let us check. Let us check. I've got too many things. Ah, hello, Penguin Boy. Which I imagine is not the nickname you were hoping for. But nonetheless, you have now become Penguin Boy, the sidekick to the villain, the Penguin. Just ignore the fiddling, assuming the fiddling can be heard. There we go. Couldn't fit it in the slot, which is so often a problem I have. Because that's suggesting I have a very large cock. When the simple reality is I have a very, very, very large cock. Instead of just a large cock, I've got a very, 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 very large cock. No, that is not true. That is not something you need to know. You do not need to assess the size of my penis to watch the stream. First time I've allowed it to do that on Shadow Hearts. In fact, I think it might be the first time ever. I don't recall ever seeing the sort of... I suppose you'd still call it the demo screen, wouldn't you? Of Shadow Hearts. I don't remember letting it get that far, but apparently I did. Congratulations to you for completing Trine 4. Is that literal 100% completion, as you often do? Or is that just sort of, yeah, I got to the end and then thought, fuck it, those achievements are too much like hard work, because that's my method. Ooh, the cheeky bastards. Cheeky wee bastards. They shouldn't be doing that, do ya? Once you get that hundo... I genuinely hate myself for saying that. Once you get the full amount of achievements, they shouldn't be adding more. Although I have been watching plentiful lists to do with achievements, ones that are sort of... today's one was ones that were particularly brutal, which is basically the top two. The top two were damaging testicles. That strikes me as something it shouldn't be the top two, surely. But yeah, apparently there was a American football game that sort of was particularly violent, and therefore sort of, I remember what I've done wrong. Now I should focus on the man in the middle. But yes, the top two, the second one was a football game where if you tackle them hard enough, you can explode their bollocks. And then the top one, of course, everybody's favourite testicle exploder, Sniper, where you can shoot people in the bollocks and get a full-blown X-ray of their nuts exploding within their sacks, which is what, let's face it, everybody wants. Well, it's interesting. There are some games where nowadays you physically can't. Oh, Perfect Alice. Wasn't even paying attention or concentrating. Didn't need the Perfect Alice, of course, because she only needed one strike. That's one of the more frustrating things to do with this game. It's when you get a perfect and you really didn't need it. This tune is so stupid. I wish I could remember precisely what I used to think it said, but it's a very weird sort of thing where it sounds like it's supposed to be saying some kind of lyric, and it's just like, but a couple I think were, most of the ones that, oh well, that's fucking Kid, which means I'm going in the right direction, and I want to go in the wrong direction, as opposed to going to the One Direction. Of course, we can't go see One Direction anymore because of the lockdown, unless you happen to live with One Direction. At that point, you can go see One Direction whenever you like, but somehow I suspect One Direction potentially don't, just all live together. That seems a peculiar one. Oh, cheeky again. Rogue Legacy was a very good game. I should go back to having a crack at Rogue Legacy. So. The unfortunate thing with those sort of rogue ones, I'm not great at doing the same thing. I realise there's a certain irony on the screen right now. You're playing an old school RPG where grinding is a thing that sometimes needs to be done, and you are facing off against exactly the same monsters in exactly the same battles in exactly the same fashion over and over again. But nonetheless, I'm not that great with repeating things. Just to make sure you understand, I'm not that great at repeating things, despite the fact that I clearly repeat things. I'm not that great at repeating things. Just to let any slow comers get the full essence of the joke, I'm not that good at repeating things. It's a beautiful sort of single sentence joke there, really. If you say the phrase, I don't need to explain the joke. You got the joke. Don't know why I insisted, but nonetheless. Something like the rogue ones, I'm not great at repeating them because, I don't know, it's just like the same thing repeatedly. Obviously, that's the definition of repeat. Fuck's sake. You are even thicker than usual this week, aren't you? Yes, I am. But, yeah, as I say, I'm not great with repeats. It's why I struggle with something like Dark Souls. Distinctly, you know, that's a very prime example of games that I struggle with. So I think that's an interesting little circle. I think I may be locked in a circle and should be going the correct path, but oh yeah, I'm getting slightly confused. Plus, every now and again, whenever I think, oh, I reckon, like recently, not recently, this was probably last year. Which is recently enough for me, I suppose. But some time ago, I thought, oh, I know, I can play Yakuza reasonably well. I think it was Yakuza 0 specifically. And I thought, I'm going to have a crack at this. I'm going to try and go all out and try and get myself, you know, all the achievements. Only to very, very swiftly realise that I fucking couldn't. And there's nothing worse, at least for me, there is nothing worse than going, I know, I think I can do this. I can do this. Can I do this? I can do this. Of course I can do this. If you only believe in two things, make sure one of the two is yourself. I can do this. And then reality set in, and it turned out I couldn't fucking do it. The achievement fun, at least. That's not how I would define fun, but, you know, I'm strange. But well done for getting it back up to 100%. There is a sense of satisfaction, without doubt. There is a sense of satisfaction when you see something and everything is checked off. In fairness, I don't know if it's the episode I'm working on or the episode that came out last time. I think it might be... I think it's the beginning of the latest episode, so it's the one I'm working on currently. But fuck is it its name? Gladius. Almost called it Gradius, which is a completely different game. I think this is going to be a dead end, and if it is a dead end, I think I've gone round in circles in an, you know, slightly inconvenient fashion. So yeah, I think we need to go back up here to get to this green one. So try and remember the fact that I've been through the green portal. I've also been through the purple portal. Very simple controls, a little puzzly. Now, is that the game's a little puzzly, or the controls are a little puzzly? Because that's two very different issues there, I fear. Yeah, I think we're definitely going around in circles with this pink transport, aren't I? What annoys me the most is the only reason I backed out of what looked like the correct path is because I thought I'd find some secrets, and now I'm going to be fucked if I can find the correct path again. Shit on it. Oh, actually, I think I may have spotted you achieving things from Starry Sky 2. because I looked at it and thought, yep, yep, that's a game. Yep. You know, both you. I mean, in fairness, I'm not averse to it. I'd like to just clarify this. And the shocking thing there is I was reading very sort of casually off to the side while I was focusing primarily on Shadow Hearts. So I read a somewhat lewd anime themed puzzle game, and then your next sentence features the word walk. Now, I think without working too hard, you're going to be able to guess what I read instead of the word walk. The controls were literally wank. Left if you want. I'm sorry, I love the phrase. I actually prefer that as a phrase. The game. The controls were literally wank left if you want to play the woman, right if you want to play the man. Oh, the worst thing is I genuinely thought to myself earlier, I thought, do you know what? Let's try and just do just try and make it funny. I know that's a rarity, but just try and make it funny without going to smut. And the first thing, we are 15 minutes, if that, 15 minutes in, and I've already made myself giggle way too much at the game. The controls were literally wank left if you want to play the woman, wank right if you want to play the man. That's the way a game works. If you hold up, you can wank faster. I'm very pleased. Oh, I'm a terrible human being. I'll be watching Meow. Now that's interesting. That is interesting. He's got the same dialogue for the women. Oh, I did actually I did get all the equipment. That's very, very helpful. Well done, past me. Yeah, if memory serves, actually, that was the end of the previous instalment, wasn't it? I did all of my doodahs. Let's get 2 of them because I don't like having 3 of them. I would prefer to have 5. I know it's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, I can't have a 9 there. I mean, you could have a 9 there, couldn't you? A 9 is a perfectly reasonable digit to have, but no, apparently you can't have 9s, you can't have 2s. I really don't need bronze daggers though, so I'm not going to bother with those at all. But tense are always useful. Past tense, present tense, future tense. That was a grammar joke. I know. Didn't it feel good to make a joke that wasn't filth? Yes, it did. Okay. Again, back to the whole wanking thing. So you needed the man to scare off the birds in his tree that end up in the woman's tree. Oh. That's a sentence. It was moderately convoluted to find everything because actions on one side affect the other side. Okay, I see. And yes, the man scare off the birds in his tree so they end up in the woman's tree. Oh, I don't know why that makes me laugh as much as it is, but there's something, I don't know. I think it's because we've established that this is Smut the game. I know it's not quite that, but nonetheless, the wanking conversation very much has meant it's feeling like it's absolute Smut the game. So the idea of just the man sending birds to the other woman is very strange to me, and just, I don't know, elicits an unfortunate chuckling fit that I'd prefer not to have, but nonetheless it is there. So we're playing Shadow Hearts, and I suppose arguably we are locked in a sort of little bit of a maze. But they're always walking in the one direction. Never the two can meet. Ah, that seems a shame. I mean, if the man goes to the trouble of putting birds in a woman's tree, you'd think they'd at least be able to meet one another someday. Surely, like the end credits. The end credits have them combine and unify as the one force of love. Fuck knows what that sentence was. It started off strong, but then went very off the rails very quickly, didn't it? Ping, ping, ping. She can turn off the volcano for him. That is... I mean... I think there's something dirty again. Yes. 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 She explodes, but she can turn it off part way. Not to give him the satisfaction of knowing that he had a volcano spewing. In this situation, spewing was a terrible choice of words, or the best choice. One of those two. I think we're nearing the end of this side. Oh no, more puzzles or more. Oh no, in fact, sufficient puzzles that have gone the wrong fucking way. But at the very least, we've found another treasure chest. Oh, that is an actual treasure chest. Some of these treasure chests, as we established last week, they are empty. Oh, that is a dead fucking end. Let's just double check the dead fucking end, because you never know. There may be secrets and lies held within the dead fucking end. So we've not been here previously, so we've got two paths. Two paths as an option here. We might as well go to the down path. Oh, fucking hell, we're back to the multi-path. Everybody wants the multi-path option. Fuck me. Oh, perfect Margaret, perfect Alice. I got the wrong character order. It's very strange. Every now and again, Alice seems to be ever so slightly faster than Marguerite, and that is phenomenally inconvenient when you're not really fully paying attention. Do I remember a SNES game called Kakoma? Sometimes, from a distance, probably need my eyes checking, I suppose, but from a distance I thought that was an R and an N. But nonetheless, Kakoma Nights in Busyland. I can't say I remember it, but I also can't say I ever heard of it. So, I really needed to not miss. Really needed to not miss. That was a fuck off. Hopefully nobody dies. I don't want my fuck up to be terminal. It would be inconvenient. I think we're fine though. These girls have plentiful health for this situation at least. The only real issue they've got is the sanity meter, because both of their sanity meters are quite low. That's only really going to be a problem in the boss, I think, though. I think in the not too distant future we may have an issue with the boss, but not so much. So you use magic chalk to draw lines on a map. Completed section. My dinner is officially fighting back, and not going down with these. I'm having to do full-blown punch-out. I can't remember the theme to punch-out. That's become apparent to me. One of the more iconic themes. Now, I always fear the flame mark. Does that mean the stream is down? I don't think so. I am watching it myself to make doubly certain. I know usually you do the Colosseum on fire for the stream dying, but you never know. It's so difficult to tell sometimes. Especially, I've found Streamlabs every now and again just doesn't fucking tell you. It's just like, yeah, no, it's all good, you're broadcasting, it's fine, so that's fine, it's all good, bruv, it's all good. And then it turns out it's not all fucking good. You fucking dickhead, OBS. And it means heartburn, yes, that makes a degree of sense. Ah, little child. And as I say, I can use items. You're wrong, little child, you're wrong. So, right, let's just... okay, let's grab myself 8 Thera seeds, because that will get me up to a nice round number for starters, and they may prove necessary. Now, I think what we'll do is try for 5 of those, so we've got 10 pure seeds, which should allow me, assuming I pay attention, which, let's face it, I rarely do, it will allow me to replenish my sanity in battle if this boss drags. And it might do. It's also possible, I will just clarify. Right, doesn't matter there. It's possible that I will not have a boss, but I think it matches the Yuri and Zhuzhen area quite nicely. And it's interesting, there's a certain elegance to some of these games where they actually manage to do new bits of game where you don't have... They seem to sort of try to sort of extend the time... I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Let's just start doing the boss instead. Games like this tend to try and delay when you get to choose your party until you get a good few selections available. So like with this one, you've now got 4 party members, but only 3 can fight in a battle at any given time. So what they've done is not sort of forced you into that choice just yet. They've sort of split you into the 2 teams, which I genuinely, I don't know whether I'm trying to suggest that's an elegant way of doing things or a shit way of doing things. I genuinely don't really get what the fuck I'm saying at the moment, but oh well. The other game I speedran 100% was basically that, but instead of fighting Evil Queen. Now, is that official speedrunning? Are you going to give Mr. Caliber a run for his money? Not literally in the same games, but nonetheless, have it holding... Do you hold any speedrun records? I don't. Love to try and find a game that just is like... In fairness, actually, there is... Not that I'd want to do it, because I'm assuming for the sake of a speedrun, you would actually have to... shite. For the sake of a speedrun, you're going to have to... shite. How fast a shit can you have? That's the world record speedrun Ion. Shining Arm of Death. Which tells me this creature is probably made of light. Which doesn't make any real difference whatsoever, because I literally... The only thing I can do is attack it. And the only one with any worth in the attacking front is Marguerite and her gun. And it is amazing that my boy Yuri still... I'll tell you what might be quite good. Okay, so I don't really want to use this, but the Seal of Aura... I am going to so regret this decision. Yep, I regretted that decision. Right, I think that's that Seal of Aura. Dead. I might be wrong. Let's just see if that Seal of Aura is still there. Okay, no. Looks like because I failed the Seal of Aura, it's fine. But I might... what I might need to do is heal Alice first. Cha cha cha. But yes, Yuri can punch harder than Gun. Right, what we need to do is use a Thera Leaf at this point, I think. Oh, whoa there, game. Whoa there, game, please. 150 is more than enough. In fact, I probably could have gotten away with just using a seed, in fairness. Oh well. Over-curing yourself is probably bad, in fairness, in real life, but in this game, indifferent. But yes, there is a speed run. I suppose they've got speed runs on the website for every single game, but I'm assuming you would have to sit and do the entire game. Okay, now the Pure Leafs are coming into play. So, do we want to try... No. Do you know what? I'm just going to use the seals outside of battle, I think, because fuck it. I cannot be bothered. Teddy Floppy Air Racing. That is an incredible name, and they should be pleased at having stolen that name from someone else. Because that's Teddy Floppy Air. Now, is that actually like the character? Is his name? Hello, I'm Teddy Floppy Ear. And is he a teddy bear? That's the key thing. As opposed to a teddy boy, which he probably shouldn't be. That would make it a very different game, I think. A Polish cartoon. Or Polish cartoon. That's when you start rubbing the cartoon with a dust cloth. I think you better go back to the smut jokes, surely. That one was absolutely awful. Pant, pant. We did it, Marguerite. We sure did. We kicked the shit out of that dig. That wasn't so bad. I did break a sweat there. Oh, meow. Impressive. You ladies are good. I can't believe this is your first time. The door to Need One Palace will now open. Meow. Oh, doors opening for those two as well. You think those two will be okay? These dungeons aren't easy. The dragons aren't either. Don't worry. Don't worry. That girl's pretty steady on her feet, and she's got Marguerite with her too. I doubt that they'll be long. That door will open soon, and we'll all be able to enter Niwan Palace. Hey, pups. What? What kind of person was my dad? Tell me about him, even if it's just a little. I only remember him working the farm with the fox mask he bought me on the day of the festival. Heck, he was a real stand-up guy. He did stand up at the weekends. He was a fucking hoot. He was a wonderful man. He was so funny. Such a funny man. I loved every minute of his stand-up. Do you have any idea how I wound up helping Hyuga out, kid? Yes, we saw it, I believe. You were on your last legs and he popped in and, fucked up the guy who was trying to fuck you up. Which essentially is, how most friendships are made, aren't they? Hey, you're trying to fuck that man up? Yes, I'm gonna fuck you up. Hey, original man. Friends? Yeah, I think so. When I first met him, he was a Japanese army operative, so I didn't trust him right off. Like with you, we got into fights now and then, but he'd always laugh them off afterwards. What I really liked about your old man, though, was, well, like you, he would rally against any injustice, even if it meant opposing his own country. He didn't just fight for his country, he fought for everyone who lived on this continent. He often wondered whilst wondering if there wasn't some way he could build a truly good country with his own hands. Well, that's why he was digging so much, I suppose. He was trying to dig to the underground to build his own country. So he was a good man. Absolutely, he was a true friend to me, a better friend than I deserved. I see. My dad must have felt the same way about you. Ha! It's nice of you to say that, kid. He looks like a teddy bear, but does he smell like a teddy bear? Does he... I was going to say quack like a teddy bear, but I don't think teddy bears quack. I guess, does he roar like a teddy bear? But you could also raise as a pig, lady pig, sheep. A pig and a lady pig? Holy fuck, the options are endless. I get you did say etc, so I'm not... It's just, I don't know, there's just something about the phrase. And you could race as a pig. And a lady pig. Fuck. I've never heard of it before. As teddy drop ear. I mean, it doesn't... That's... I mean... I feel like I might recognise Rubber Dub Tub, but then again, it depends on precisely what age I would have been. But nonetheless, I mean, come on. A fucking children's magazine programme called Rubber Dub Tub. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's a little bit like when... I think I've said this before, so you've probably heard it, but years and years ago, one of the children's networks was Fox Kids. Now, by itself, Fox Kids is reasonably acceptable. It's not the best of name choices, but I think it was based on the idea that it's the channel Fox for kids. Fox Kids. It makes logical sense. But some genius in their sort of advertising department decided it would be a really good idea to just have an advert that was repeating the phrase Fox Kids over and over and over again. So essentially you ended up with Fox Kids, 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 Fox Kids. And every time it ended, it basically sounded like Fox Kids. More and more and more. So that was a channel. I knew the girls had it in them. Let's do it, people. The last dungeon, E1 Palace. It's just ahead. Meow. But before you step in, it's time for yet another trial. Meow. Meow meow. Oh, what the fuck? Ah, here we go. The Big Daddy. Your items and special skills have been sealed away. So we can't use items, we can't use special skills. Wasn't that a bit of a shitter? Ah, you mean I've lost my fusion abilities too? Fucking cat people. Cripes, cunt, they ought to go to cut us some slack. No, he will cut your slack off if you use the items. So I'm not sure whether we unite or it's going to be another two separate ones. I think it's another two separates. Subliminal messages. Which one? The rub-a-dub tub? Sit your children down, father. Sit your children down, father, in front of rub-a-dub tub, and then you go upstairs and you have yourself a rub-a-dub tub, while they're distracted by the pretty pictures. Oh God, we gotta decide which way to go again. Hopefully I won't miss anything important. Well, that's another split path, which makes me kind of want to go back and see what this path is. Let me guess, this path will be the correct path. Arrgh. This is just what we needed. A fucking maze. Nobody enjoys a fucking maze. Especially if, you know, if you can make it through the maze, you get a good fucking... That's what you don't need. A good prize hidden behind a maze. That'd be an irritation. I can't find my way out of this maze. God damn, I'm not going to receive my fucking... I seem to be really bad at this today. Oh, yeah. So yeah, these two have severe problems with this one, because now Xu Zhen can't actually heal either of them, which is a problem. I can't deny, Alice and Marguerite, when both are sealed off, is actually moderately indifferent. At least I'm regaining some more soul juice, as it were. Why did you pick the word juice? You had plentiful other words you could have picked, and you went juice. I don't know why I went for the word soul juice. I don't think anybody should be using the word soul juice. Not a great image in the brain, is it? Soul juice. Would you like some soul juice? Unless it's like, you know, soul music. You've juiced a soul musician, which you shouldn't do. That's just shocking behaviour, juicing a soul musician. Just so you can get the liquid extract, drink it down, become a real soulful dude. Ting ting. Notice how now I've missed a couple of times. I'm automatically backing off a bit on the on each of the rings. I am now just a little bit more sort of like, I don't really want to risk missing again. So I'm being extra cautious, which is not the best method. You do have to sort of live on the edge. Oh, greenie. And that's not really... I should have remembered to try and deal with that malice prior to actually coming in here, but never mind. Let's give you a full health boost. Full health boosts all round. And then I was going to just use those fucking seed items when I had the seals. So I can't deny, SP for Yuri, because he uses it in his fusions, is quite reasonable. MP, I might save that for Alice, because Yuri doesn't use much in the way of MP. I mean, a reasonable chunk, but not as much as you want your healer to have, let's put it that way. And then basically I'm going to default to my usual standard, which is any other seal is probably going to go to Yuri, because frankly Yuri is, without spoiling it too much, except spoiling it too much, Yuri is almost always in the party because he's the lead character, and therefore it's always worthwhile buffing your lead character, I feel, because then it doesn't matter what happens, you've always got a buff boy to fall back on. And the best place to fall back on is a buff boy. They've got muscular arms. They can hold you. Hold me, buff boy. Hold me, please. Are you willing to hold me, you buff boy? No, I don't want to hold you. I'll use my buff arms for something else. I don't hold people with my buff arms. I hold weights with that, for fuck's sake, before you hit the thing. No, my buff arms are not used for hitting things either. No, I've noticed you keep missing, you son of a bitch. At least Yuri can clean up. And those squiddly diddly shell women, straight up boobs out. Typical you noticed that. Took you a while, but still typical you noticed. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. themes in this game are, and I don't mean the overall themes as in like the clear misogyny in places and stuff. I mean the song themes are very weird. They are oddly compelling. It's not like they're it's not like you have to get them out of your ears, but they hold such a great weirdness that kind of sums up the game almost. And trust me, this game is fucking weird. I believe you may not have. Yes, that's true. Although they are her own tentacles. Although I suppose arguably, eventually she will probably stick her own tentacles up herself. But nonetheless, I shouldn't have attacked that creature with Yuri, because that creature would have easily died to Yujin. Strategy. It's not your strong point. No, it's not. Tapping buttons is. It mostly is. Fortunately, they're blank boobs, so I don't have to worry about nips on Twitch. Twitchy nips. Nobody wants twitchy nips, do they? No. That's what happens when the temperature can't make up its mind. Oh, it's cold. Oh, they're hard. Oh, it's warm. They're not hard anymore. Twitchy, twitchy, twitchy nips. Twitchy, twitchy, twitchy nips. That's the Twitchy Nips song. You need to grow up. Yeah. Theraseed, marvellous. I still don't really know if you should say it as Theda or Teda. Is it a silent H or a pronounced H? I don't think I've ever... that's an interesting one. I don't think I've ever actually looked at these ones. Okay, we're now entirely distracted. I don't know if this Thera herb is perhaps a real thing or not. It may very well be a real thing, because a lot of the, okay, I know it's not real, but it is based on sort of, it's based on our lore. So a lot of the stories and a lot of the bits and pieces are based on lore of our real world. So it's plausible that the Thera leaf of the Thera herb is actually a real thing. But long used for its medicinal properties, this herb blooms only once each year. Those lucky enough to see the small blossom are said to enjoy good health for the year. Thera seeds, of course, are the seeds of the Thera herb. Extremely nourishing. No taste. That seems almost unfortunate. Then the Mana leaf, a mystical scarlet herb that grows in secret places. When taken by those with psychic or magic abilities, consumed mystical strength is again restored. Mana seeds, again the seed of the thing. The tea of the healer. Tea prepared in the manner originated by the healer Shuju. Brewed from sacred leaves, it restores physical and mystical strength when imbibed with the pure heart. So, in other words, it does fuck all if Yuri uses it. What is it actually supposed to do? Oh, MP and HP, that's fair enough. And then the witch's broth we've actually saw. Seal of Aura, a metal sculpture inlaid with a mysterious plant. Excavated from the holy ground of the warlocks, the mountain peak Dosia. Or Dosia, I think it's probably softer C, Dosia. It raises maximum mystical strength. A tent, a leather tent used by nomadic tribes. Pure leaf. That's some pure shit. A magical herb used by ancient magic users, such as shamans when practicing their craft. It changes the secretions of the brain, influencing one's state of mind. So I was actually genuinely not as far off as I thought I was when I said that. The seeds of the magical pure leaf. Talisman of luck. I think we've mostly seen the talismans. I won't dwell too much here. The mermaid's tear. The number of facets on this gem re-resent. Ladies and gentlemen, I say that, gentleman, in the singular. Don't dwell. I won't dwell on the inevitable failure of this. Ladies and gentlemen, we have found our first spelling error, because that, I am reasonably confident, should say the number of facets on this gem represent a holy number, not re-resent a holy number. I suppose, arguably, if you resented the holy number, you thought, fucking 20, I hate 20 being a holy number. And then you think to yourself, Actually, no, I'm mostly fine with 20 being a holy number. I don't know why I made such a fuss. But then you went back to hating it. You would resent it. It took way too long for me to get to the punchline of that joke, and it was shit. So there we go. A Holy Mother bust. I want to see the Holy Mother's bust. It is modelled after the figure of his mother, a martyred sculptor carved into the stone of his prison. Angel's feather. Ha! I'm going to have to count this time. Hello, hello, hello. 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 5 times. That's a 5 times. 5 times. 5 times. 5 times. 5 times WCW champion. Booker T. A fairy sigh, which essentially means I've just called myself a fairy. I'll live with it, but peculiar. In the Middle Ages, a phoenix tail. Of course it's a phoenix tail. Although, a phoenix tail that doesn't quite do what you would expect it to do. It removes the effects on the Judgment Ring, which is not what you would expect a phoenix thing to do. A rare woodblock, a mythic nymph Daphne. Delightful Daphne. Bronze arrowheads, bronze daggers, a silver hourglass with blue stuff in the middle. A gold hourglass is very fancy, isn't it? A hair of the white tiger, a spiritual artifact shaped like the beard of the white tiger, the god of the 4 directions. Fang of the black tortoise, a spiritual artifact shaped like the fang of the black tortoise. A magical weapon Elroy gave a vassal during the 20-day war of the gods. Oh, I think we've actually seen that one, and we are back at the beginning. Yes, never miss the opportunity to send a... Now, I have gotten confused as to which way I want to go. That is inconvenient, to say the least. I was too busy fiddling with my items. So, fun fact, you have missed one key piece of information. I am now in the next section of the Nasty Dungeon. And this section, of course, this section very much goes with... you have got your items and you have got your special skills sealed away. So we've got no items in battle and no special skills in battle. So we're basically fucked in battle. And the old man is looking particularly unhealthy. But that's his general pallor. And yes, the right way would be quite useful. Unfortunately, it's difficult to tell which way the right way is. At least we do have our chest markers, like so. We now know we don't necessarily want to go down there, although there were multiple other paths available down there. I just need to try and find the correct one. Is this going to be... this feels like a repeat, but then again... Oh, no, clearly not a repeat. You're going to be an actual item? Yay, Monacy. That's always useful. Except for the fact that that is now back to a chest we've been to. That's a chest we've been to. Cock, that's a battle we don't need to be into. Although here are the ladies with tentacles. Ding, ding, ding. Fries are done. And so's this woman. You're going to punch her in the titties. He's an old man looking unhealthy, comes with the territory. Exactly. And you said it far more eloquently than I ever tried to. Ding, ding, and boom, dig a ding, and a slam. A wrestle. It's such a real bastard that Zhu Zhen can't just do it in one. If he could just smack those women up in one sweep of his combo, it would make things far easier for me. There is an argument, and I don't necessarily think you're going to, make the argument, but I'm going to make it for you on behalf of you, the audience. I don't like the fact that Malice meter's gone up the yellow. I think I may actually have to go and take care of that. Now, have we been through a pink one? Have we had one in the pink? I've got a nasty feeling we may have had one in the pink, and I've gone completely backwards, but never mind. I'm really going to have to deal with the bloody thing. So, okay, Yuri attack the woman in the back row. Yes, the argument you could make, that I'm going to make for you on your behalf, is I could move him to the front row. That, I believe, would increase his attack strength. However, next time, usually in battle, I would prefer him on the back row, and I would probably forget to put him back on the back row, and I can't be bothered to go through that whole rigmarole of putting him on the front row, only to put him back on the back row later on. So because I'm lazy, he's staying on the back row, and he can just do as much damage as he can. It doesn't... I mean, that was on the edge. That was on the edge of that. That was very nearly a fucking miss. That's the other thing you've missed, Chester. Apparently, in a week, I have lost all ability to push the button at the correct time. Now, I would really thoroughly... cock, that's a fucking route I've been... Which makes me think I may have... Yeah, I think I've been through the... I genuinely have been so turned around in this. The unfortunate thing, the inconvenience with doing it on a stream while you're talking and looking at the chat is, on some occasions, it's fucking difficult to keep track with what the fuck you are trying to do. Which means I think I've been round here at least twice now, and not found the correct path. Now, I suppose it's plausible that the correct path is actually not, but I mean, is this Vibranium has fucked itself into oblivion. But yes, the other thing you missed, I've become absolutely useless at this game and keep missing the fucking Judgment Ring, which is, I mean, it's a problem. It's a problem when you really need to fucking hit the Judgment Ring. I think it's because there's 4 characters potentially I'm trying to remember the Judgment Ring of, which makes it slightly different, especially flitting between the two. You know, if you're only sort of swapping out one party member each time, later in the game, it's not too bad. But flitting between the two teams is providing my brain slight problems with doing the Judgment Rings correctly. But that's just excuses. The reality is simply you're shit. Yes, indeed. Fuck. I think I've been round this path a dozen or so times. Oh, fucky, fuck ducks. Oh, you shouldn't fuck the fuck ducks. They don't like it, and I'm not surprised. Monsters make awesome noises as well, don't they? And of course they make the noises repeatedly because there's multiple strikes. That's one of the interesting things as well. If they dodge something, they will dodge each individual strike in the combo, which means if they're dodging the first fists of Yuri, where he does the multi sort of punch, they will go dodge, 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 dodge. I'll try and tell you in a moment. So you see here where he does the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's his first step of his combo attack, the 1, 2, 3. And what happens when the enemies dodge? You may have noticed it previously. The enemies will dodge each of those 3 strikes, so it can get mildly amusing, especially with sort of Yuri's quick blows, as it were. Now, if I could just fall. Okay, we're going to have to deal with that. That is not a situation I want. I didn't really want to go to the... I can only... Oh, fuck. Oh, this is... Oh, that's the fucking pink one again. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, this is looking bad. Because I know what's going to happen now that I've got... Scat singing will save the day. Unless the pink one was correct. Fuck it. Ah, here he is. Fuck it, here he is. I can't remember if he's really difficult or acceptable. You can run away, you know. I might have to. Ha! Especially, I don't have my fucking items. I can't remember how to run away. There we go. I will run away. Thank you very much, Foxface, for the suggestion. Running away now. Thank you. Goodbye. He's going to be a continual problem, isn't he? I don't think we want to go this way. I think we want to find a save point. But I can't find a fucking save point. At least now, we have, at the very least, found the yellow point. Now, if the yellow point leads to a save point, that would be very convenient. But the yellow point isn't leading to a save point, so it's very inconvenient. Bollocks. Big old, hairy bollocks that are coming at your face. And you don't want hairy bollocks in your face. You want hairy bollocks nowhere near your face. Unless you actually quite like hairy bollocks in your face. In which case, fair dues. Enjoy. I am sort of slightly over purchasing items now because it's entirely necessary. I say that, I can't use the pissing items in the pissing battles. So maybe overbuying items is not the best idea. But then again, I've got an abundance of funds at the moment, so it's not a terrible choice. But also, let's use a pair. Oh, I say use a pair, I can only use one. Fuck it. Shave the bollocks first. I mean, I applaud you. I genuinely applaud you for your ingenuity there. Oh, fantastic. The one solution I wasn't expecting. Why not shave the bollocks first? Then they wouldn't be hairy. They'd just be big. That is phenomenal. Phenomenal out of the box thinking there. Right, I really need that save point. Purple. Yeah? I feel like I don't want the pink one. But I've gone for the pink one anyway. Ah, haha. Nope. Nope. Still nope. I think this is still going to be Foxface. No, it's not. Good. Okay, Foxface is not chasing me right now. I think he is still in the pool of monster types that may turn up. But, you know, I'm hoping not to encounter him too much more. So it's not... I must admit, I don't often forget to deal with the malice in this game, so I don't often encounter Foxface that much, which is a fucking good thing, to be perfectly frank. Oh, no, okay, this is... Ah! We have found the small... Ah! With fucked! Fucking gawk. Fucking poozle nonsense. I hate you so fucking much. Fucking penal warts. God damn you. Just let me have a save point. And then I can deal with all of the things. Then we can enjoy our time. Instead of being friend of Foxy Face. The demon of our father and our childhood combined. Holy fuck. I imagine he'd probably actually do a better job of it at the moment, because he fucking couldn't do a worse one. This is, you know, this is an absolute shit show of getting out of here. But it's not. It's just unfortunate that sometimes, and it's. I'm gonna blame you, chat. I'm gonna blame you. Oh, I just got life, sucker. Which we're not going to be able to see for a while, but nonetheless, I kind of almost skipped it, but what we got there is life, sucker. Attack with life-draining darkness. Plus silence. Which, I suppose... Oh no, he doesn't always... I wondered if he always had a status ailment attached to his attacks, but nonetheless. I think at the very least, I've got some degree of logic to trying to work out the area, but the fact that all the screens look the fucking same is not helpful. It's not helpful at all. But there is sort of there's an element of method to my exploration. Not a good element of method, but nonetheless an element. Because I am trying to note directions and screens that I've been in. Fuck Foxface. Foxface. I know I can run away. I plan... Ah, you bastard. Okay, SP lowering. So he's actually going for the sanity kill, I think, is the problem. And if he gets the sanity kill, I'd be fucked. Right. Oh, God. Now I'm confused again. But no, we don't want the pink one, I don't think. Unless we do want the pink one, in which case we want the pink one. I think it might be this way I've not been. Might be this way I've not been? Ah, this way I've definitely not been. And I must admit, we've discussed this sort of treasure chest thing. Not all of these treasure chests actually hold treasure. They are literally there as sort of screen markers, so that you know where you've... Oh, a wood token. What is that? I do not know. Let's try and find the wood token. Wood token? Wood token? Wood token? Wood token? It must be a piece of equipment. Wood token? Wood token? Wood token? No, it's not. Valuables then. Wood token? Wood token! Ancient token displaying one of the 5 yin and yang elements. Wood. Used in opening mystical seals or barriers. Oh, fuck. I think we've discovered that this is a maze that requires you to get shit in the maze before you're allowed out of the maze. Amazing. This is not... Oh, this is bollocks. This is my bollocks. Enjoy my bollocks. Everybody likes bollocks. Bollocks. It's fucking Foxface. It's fucking Foxface again. Okay, hopefully, as long as I can always run away... Good. We should be fine. The problem is... Now, I'm going to hold my hands up here and say I don't think I've ever really tried to slaughter Foxface. So I don't know. It may be one of those ones where I've got in my brain this notion that Foxface is this big nasty that's going to fuck me up. It might just be a case that, actually, no, he's fine. Oh, red. Red? Red. Okay, red is good. I should have paid more attention. It's in front of the altar. It's called the Shrine of the 5 Elements. When all 5 powers are gathered, the guard will fall with power. You just need the power of the wood token. If you insert it into the pentagram, the guard will appear. Need items? No, not at the moment. What I need is a save point, please. I'm hoping this room will be exactly the same as the previous room, which it is. Which means I have a save point. Yay! Which means I can deal with the malice, and, although entirely useless, I can also pop into the graveyard and deal with both my 2nd level wind and my 1st level light. Now, I don't know which one I'm going to bother doing first. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll check the malice first, because I think being in the graveyard... Oh, the fucking door... Oh, of course the door's open, yes. The door, I think, is symbolising the fact that Foxface is on the loose and trying to murder your fucking face. Well, I say that. He's actually, as we've seen, he's actually trying to lower your SP, which could mean that you murder his face, but it's not really something I want to find out. Because they told you not to let the malice get in the red. And I let the malice get in the red. At least I suppose now you know what happens when the malice gets in the red. Foxface comes for your hide. So, it's as I say, it's something to avoid for the most part, I think. You don't really necessarily want to fight him. Also, you may have noted, when Foxface does turn up, you're stuck in a single battle. Probably because Foxface is potentially supposed to just be in Yuri's mind. This is all sort of in Yuri's brain, the graveyard, the Foxface thing. So that might be why you end up forced into facing him alone. This thing has taken way more punches than I was expecting. I was partially expecting it to be more difficult, owing to the fact that he's the red level of Malice creature, but then it looked like the little skull fella. And so I thought, oh, it's only the little skull fella, it's going to be a piece of piss. But he has taken an awfully large volume of hits. Fortunately, he now dead. So I also forgot to pay attention to the one piece of information I was supposed to be paying attention to. So that's good. That's awesome. Ah, the door closes. And Foxface is put back in his fucking pen. Arsehole. Does the red circle make you go faster? Yes. Yes, it does. At least it makes you go to the right direction. Foxface is Sephiroth. In terms of world-ending arsehole, yes. In terms of what Foxface really is, Foxface is actually your father. spoiler alert, or it's the embodiment of Yuri's psychosis, I think, to a certain extent. So the fox face is actually the fox mask Yuri had as a child, and the father is his father. it's, you know. But I think it is all based on psychology. The soul glows with eerie light. The soul still burns, as if the soul of a new creature was born. Fight the fusion monster. Let's fucking go. Right, this is the light fusion monster. That is not the fusion monster I remember. It's horrible. It is absolutely fucking horrible. I'm going to go for the dark, because I'm fairly certain dark versus light is strong, but then again, I think light versus dark is strong, so that's a fucking problem. Am I absolutely certain this is the light one? I'm beginning to wonder if this is the wind one. Especially because it's got Falcon, and it's got... and I think it was called Tornado. I think this is the wind one. I think this is the wind one. So darkness is going to do me no fucking favours whatsoever. But hey, Death Emperor is at least cool looking, so that's fine. But yes, so in fairness, I don't think we've ever seen the level 1 wind creature. So seeing the level 2 wind creature is yay. Hopefully I can show you both, because at that point, Harpy's Feather Duster! Yes. Hopefully I can show you both levels so that you can see that the levels do get more... I mean, I was going to say more awesome, but looking at that thing, it's fucking ugly. Soul of Tornado! Yay! Woo! That's the ticket. A feeling of jealousy boils within you. You've received Soul of Tornado. So yes, I think that is the wind one. Right. So I've literally just woken the wind. I am the Wind Waker. Right. I need to go... yes, I need to go into equipment for you. I need to go into the souls there. Now, I'm not going to do that. Raging Tiger, Mandragon, Inferno, Tornado... oh, okay, so that is the Lesser Spirit. Fuck, okay. I thought I could have sworn we were up to the second level, but never mind. This is the first level of the Wind one, so it's a bit shit. Lesser Spirit, formed by Harmonix's Unbound Spirit and a Thunderbird. They're go, you know. Thunderbirds are go. I must admit, the Thunderbirds are vastly better looking than that ugly creature. Wields the power of the winds. Cures target's poison, paralysis, and confusion. Raises target's agility. Slashes the target with a blade of wind. Spoiler alert. That is the only time you're going to be seeing that creature. It's shit. Actually, tell a lie. Okay, that was a bit judgmental. It's not necessarily shit, but Death Emperor, fucking cool. Inferno and the other fire spirits, they allow you to boost your attack in battle. That's what Yuri does. Mandragon, quite good because he can heal. But Mandragon isn't... I'm not necessarily going to stick with Mandragon. I might end up going with the light one. So, okay. This is the light grave. We are now fighting the light monster. And that is what I remember the light monster looked like. So what we're going to do... should I... you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to just be Inferno and raise my attack strength. It means neither of us have an elemental advantage, because I can't remember the exact loop, if it is a loop or whether it's something else. Because sometimes what they do is they have some of the elements in like a circular elemental doodad. So it's a circular pattern for the weaknesses. They all sort of link 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. But they sometimes... you know, I think you know what I mean. You've played plenty of games. Sometimes they isolate the light and the dark as their own separate light versus dark, dark versus light. Both are strong against the other. However, I don't... unfortunately, I haven't been able to look at the instruction manual. I probably could find the instruction manual if I wanted to, but I haven't really been bothered, is I suppose the correct phrasing. I can't be bothered to find the instruction manual, so I'm not going to. Where it would probably inform me of the elemental weaknesses and sort of relationships each one has. Special defense power. Special defense power will do you no fucking good against the furious fists of my four-armed friend. See, told you. Fucked him up. Something chronic. Da 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 la da dee da da la la. So I now have the soul of Heaven's Fiend. Now Heaven's Fiend is, I think, one of the more useful ones. A feeling of compassion fills your heart. You've received Soul of Heaven's Fiend. Sweet as a nut, sweet as a nut. How sweet are your nuts? Very sweet. I think you've been eating too much sugar if your nuts are in fact fucking sweet. There we go. Sacred Remedy. Restores a small amount of all allies' HP. That's the move you want. So guess what? Mandragon, you've just been retired. So goodbye, Mandragon. Hello, Heaven's Fiend. And basically, I fear I'm probably going to be fairly stuck rigidly on those three now until later on there are a couple of super souls, which I don't know. They are sort of, they're kind of awkward to get. I think you have to do a lot of hoop jumping to get them, so I don't know. It will possibly be up to you in the chatteroo. It will be up to you as to whether I try and jump through as many hoops as I feel I can jump through in order to get as much out of this game as is humanly possible, or if you just fancy, you know, fuck it, let's have you not do all of the hoop jumping. Let's just have you complete the game. Embedded in the Duda, look at the stone plate. Sure, go on then. It's rather lucky that I happen to have, whoopsie doodles, well, I just pushed the wrong button immediately and therefore have to do the whole sentence again. Awesome. That's what you'll want to see. Oh, very nearly did it again. Impatience will be your downfall. It is not a good thing. So boss time again. We're going to boss again like we did last summer. It's a hand with wings, and it's got a little hand on the back of its big hand. Unfortunately, I can't actually use my fusions, of course. In fact, this battle is essentially, if you can't twat it hard enough with your attacks, you're done. There is literally no other option, because all of my options have been taken away. So I can only attack and hope that full health is enough to see them through. I'm reasonably certain it's going to be. I don't think they've done a particularly harsh boss. And you don't want to mess with harsh boss. But I don't think they've done anything too drastic that will really kick the shit out of you. But nonetheless, this battle is fundamentally a time limit. Can you do you know that the fingers are actually little snake heads as well, aren't they? So it's a weird fucking creature. Oh, that's not great news. My judgment ring is tiny, but I still did it. Not expecting any perfects on a tiny thin ring, but nonetheless, what we hopefully can at least continue doing is hitting all three. That's basically what we need. But yeah, you're essentially, especially because Zhu Zhen, at 13 sanity points, you've got a kind of almost a hard limit. I suppose it's more the HP that's going to game over, but the sanity points will scupper your chances somewhat. Yeah, so you've got a hard limit of 13 turns to really do enough damage to kill this thing, which is unfortunate. I don't, as I say, I don't think I'm making it out to be a bigger deal than it actually is technically, but it is still sort of, because they've sealed all of your options, you can only attack. And if attacking doesn't work, attacking doesn't work. That's it. That's game over. Sometimes when you discuss these things out loud, you suddenly realise, that's shit design. Taking away all of your options and giving you essentially a time-limited boss, because eventually you will die. That's interesting. Oh, his ring came back, as it were. I had not spotted. I spotted the find, but I spotted it a little bit too late. Didn't make any real difference because I'm only really aiming for the centre of the rings segments anyway, but nonetheless it is... Oh, and it's halved again. Awesome. Fuck's sake. Actually, I think Yuri, interestingly enough, managed to avoid it. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Zhu Zhen has... Oh, he's won. Fair dues. I'll shut the fuck up then, shall I? But Zhu Zhen was down at 60 health, and there's no option to change that. You can't heal, so you can't change the fact that he was only, you know, he's at 60 health. So let's see. Yeah, I apparently got... Oh, water is now at 2nd level, so I might be able to get the 2nd level water summon, which probably I won't be able to do because we're going to automatically, I think, change over to Alice and Marguerite. Oh, finally. Good work. All right then, Master Xiaofang, we've passed all the spiritual trials. Show yourself. Oh, unless the 3rd trial was exclusively these two. I don't know if you have to do it. Meow, meow. Oh, no, there we go. It is just those two, so you don't have to do another one with Marguerite and Alice. I'm impressed. I didn't think young people like you could make it through the trials. Meow. Come on, you've got no grounds for denying us further. Take us to the old man, won't you? Of course, meow. I'll open the door to Nirvana Palace. Hold on. Meow, meow, meow. Meow. Go ahead, the Meowster awaits. I will go ahead. Well, it depends. If you give me back control of my people, I'm going to go to this save point. Because it's a fucking save point. Right, what we'll do is I will use his nourishing potion rather than items, because I've got nothing as a particularly good reason. It's just wasting his MP seems like the better option. But we are actually going to go back in the graveyard, because I'm going to show you the level 2 water fusion. Or I'm not. Ah, okay. Fair dues. I think you have to get to a certain point in the storyline in order to actually do it, yes. The grave has increased in size, but for some reason remains dark. So you have to get to a certain point in the story before you're allowed 2nd level summons. Or you have to get all of the 1st level in order to do it. One of the two, I don't know which. It doesn't matter too much. At some point, we are going to get upgraded fusions. There is a 2nd and 3rd level, I believe. Oh, he's impatient. Strutting back and forth, strutting back and forth. They certainly are late. Yeah, maybe the Lieutenant Sukatane was alright about them. Maybe they've failed. That can't be. I put my faith in them to the end. It's ironic, isn't it? I find myself rooting for the enemy. I wonder why. They're so reckless, yet somehow I envy them. Oh, punchy man. Ah, it's Sukatani again. I believe it's Sukatani. I might be wrong, but we're soon going to find out when he says something. Are you Sukatani? Sukatani? Ah, it's Sukatani. Lieutenant Koishima, Lieutenant Sukatani reporting. Suck it, Annie. It was fast, Lieutenant. What happened with the others? We have 20 men hidden nearby. If something happens, they'll be ready. Lieutenant Colonel, how is the situation? Yes, there'll be no movement for now. Please wait a little longer. Understood. Sergeant, don't take your eyes off the Lieutenant Colonel. The investigative committee's up to something. Up to something? I'm counting on you, Sergeant. I'm going to use all 10 of your digits. I say 10, technically you could classify it as 11. You could technically classify it as 12, if you include the nose as a digit. I suppose you could go up to 14 if you include the ears as digits, but I don't think you necessarily would. That would just be silly, wouldn't it? Master, I'm back. I brought everyone here. Welcome back, Zhu Zhen. Nice to meet you, ladies, and your son. If you knew we were coming, you should have baked us a cake. So you're Master Shifa. The very same. And you're Yuri, like father, like son. Seems you both carry a heavy burden. At any rate, welcome. I've been so bored lately. Today's trials were quite a pleasant change. I'll give you back your power and items now. I've added something for finishing the trials. Master Jiva has removed the seal on your special skills and items. You receive the Fruit of Yggdrasil. Super. I'll look up what that does once we get past the story done. Your pardon, Master Jiva, but we don't have time for a joyful reunion. This place isn't safe. I don't care how much Dwai has. He can't break through this seal so easily. I missed the word strength, and that was absolutely the key word in the sentence. Just as I cannot leave it, he cannot come in. It's an honor to meet you, Master Shifa. I'm Alice. So you're the blue-eyed white dragon I've heard so much about. My, you do have incredible power. Yes, 3,000 points of it. I think 3,000. 3,000 points of it. If you fused with 2 other blue-eyed white dragons, you'd then have 4,500. So are you sure the other one isn't 4,000? No, I'm pretty certain they have 3,000 attack points. You need to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. Fucking yes, I do. No wonder the Y is drooling over you. He's a dirty, dirty old man. He probably would succeed in the valorization if he had you in his possession. My father lost his life protecting me from a warlock with similar plans in a country far, far away. England. Tell me, why do people like Dewey attempt such awful things? The reason is simple. They believe they are superior beings, but are the sons of humans, not also human. They are motivated by vengeful hearts. They sacrifice many victims to their idol of revenge. I'm sure the Y hasn't fully considered how the Demon's Gate invocation might change the world. Of course, I don't know what would happen either, but it must be stopped. Oh, I almost forgot. There was something I wanted to give you, Shao Fan.
Yes, Master.
There's a votive picture tablet of the white tiger on the back shelf. Please fetch it for me.
Gotcha.
He runs like a derp. I suppose, arguably, you could say it's because he was once a cat, I believe, is the suggestion. That's why he keeps meowing, if you hadn't realised. I'm led to believe Zhu Zhen, he said, last week, in fact, he said, if you're not careful, I'll turn you back into a cat, which suggests once upon a time he was a cat, which might explain the derpy run. But then again, I'm fairly certain all of the children in this game seem to have the same derpy run, and it is truly a derpy run. I found it. Meow. Oh, shit. Stop flashing at me. Meow. Oh, no. What? The barrier may have become slightly weakened by the trials, but this cannot be. Do I? No, even the Y isn't this powerful. I know who this is. I think it's Roger Bacon.
Meow, stop, meow.
Oh, it is Dwyer. After all, it is not Roger Bacon.
I didn't need your help. I did it by myself.
That voice, Dwyer.
Long time no see, Master Zifa. Shifa. I couldn't, for some reason, I lost the pronunciation of the word whilst doing the accent. Or voice, I suppose. It's not really an accent, is it? I finally made it inside your seal. I'm inside your bastard. No, he's not inside your bastard. It's just the moment I see or hear the word bastard, I have to say the word bastard out loud. It's an unfortunate reflex. The moment bastard comes in, bastard. Ooh, there's written on the screen, bastard. We have to say bastard. Bastard. Ooh, bastard. Did I mention Pokemon at some point then? Because Sun and Moon, I'm assuming, is Pokemon.
that right? I don't remember mentioning Pokemon, but I might have. I know. Can you not remember the things you say? No. And I think it's better that way. You are referring to Pokemon. Oh, good. Cool. But yeah, I never really got into the Pokemon cartoon for some reason. Kind of like the first series was okay, but the rest not so much. But I must admit, recently I've been playing the game Judgment, and in there, I mean, I will just point out, Judgment is along the same lines as Yakuza, because I think it's by the same development team, and so you can possibly predict how the humour of Judgment goes. It is incredibly Japanese. Incredibly Japanese. So one of the... And I'm guessing this one might be an English translator having a bit of fun. So it might not necessarily be the Japanese responsible for this naming convention. But nonetheless... Okay. No, it's so ridiculous. So you end up getting private investigation cases as the main character in Judgment. And one of them was to... the first one was to catch an individual who was thieving panties off of clotheslines with a drone, and he was called the Panty Professor. Now the second one was to catch a man who was groping women by pinching their bottoms, and his name, gloriously, his name was Ass Catchem. And I think genuinely when it first came up, it was like, okay, I'm fine with the idea that there's a sort of groping fella on the loose. Don't worry, I'll track him down. But the moment they named him Ass Catchem, my jaw genuinely dropped to the floor, because it was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? But yes, anyway, bastard. Well, with Zhao Fang. Too late. The votive picture of the white tiger is mine.
Zhu, give me a healing talisman. A broken seal can't be repaired. We must seal the entire temple.
Nah, I'll bring this temple down around your heads before you can.
Oh, shit in hell. Oh, a slight rumbling and we were all face first on the ground.
What a pathetic place this is. Master Zhifa, you thought I'd be as weak as I was 15 years ago. I had the full force of the Sith behind me. You fool. Ah, such beauty. If I'd only come earlier.
Are you thinking of the alternate definition of come again? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a bad person, but when they say come, I think of come because of come. It's a good explanation. That's a fair explanation, isn't it? In fairness, though, because he came earlier, this moment is going to be delayed. You like Sun and Moon a lot more than you expected. I mean, I must admit, I might enjoy them. I just haven't gone back to them. I don't know why. I don't know. I suppose because they're very different programs. But for some reason, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Digimon captured my attention, and I couldn't release from, you know, them having grabbed my attention. And yet Pokemon, very much like when I was a very small child, it was like, yay! And then, like, post sort of maybe first, second series I possibly watched as a small child, past that point, it was like, yeah, nah. Because I don't know, Pokemon feels a little bit more childish. And I know there are some elements in the Pokemon series that are definitely not childish, and were in fact banned, I believe, if memory serves. But nonetheless, for the most part, it's a little bit more sort of like happy-go-lucky, child-friendly. I know, again, I know there are going to be exceptions to that statement, but I don't know. And I know like Digimon is seriously happy-go-lucky, children-oriented as well, but yeah, I can't fully explain it. I can't fully explain it because it's going to be, inevitably, it's going to be a contradiction, because that essentially is my sort of. I always thought and this is one of those weird thoughts that I've had in the past. If I was to find a word that purely and wholly identified me, that word would probably be contradiction, because almost everything I think, say and do is a contradiction of something else I've thought, said and done. So there you go. Okay. Tamers. I don't think I minded Tamers. I don't recognise the name Sailors, but yeah, certainly Adventure and the second one I definitely remember. Frontier, I don't recognise the name, but I might be mistaken. Tamers, I think... Is Tamers Gearmon as the primary Digimon? The one that small child... Oh, actually... if you didn't watch it, you won't know the fucking answer. But if memory serves, the ones I've watched are the first one, the first series, which was Tai and Agumon as the sort of primary lead. Then the second one was God Almighty, it's still Tai and Agumon, but it's like the next generation down, isn't it? It's the second series was kind of the point where the film bridged the two series, I believe. Okay, Tamers was the one with cards they swiped. That is the one I have definitely seen, yes. Because in Tamers, I believe what happens is he draws Gearmon, and then somewhere along the line, the Digiverse corrupts the real world or some such, I don't know, some anime nonsense that justified everything, I'm sure. I suppose that could really describe any series whatsoever, couldn't it? You know. And this happened, and then some nonsense that justifies the whole thing. But nonetheless, there's something that happens, and I keep looking out for that Digimon Tri, because that Digimon Tri is back to Tai and Agumon and the rest of the group. I'm not going to name every single one because I can't remember them all. I could possibly have a go, but it's easier just to refer to it as Tai and everything else. We have ended up onto Digimon. We started with a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh reference, and then lo and behold, we suddenly ended up skirting around Pokemon, and now finally into Digimon, where I've discovered that Frontier. Yes. Frontier, I think I've seen. Yes. Because Frontier, I think, is Agumon again, isn't it? But a slightly different Agumon, who rather than... I think he still goes to Greymon, but I don't think he goes to something... no, it's something Greymon, isn't it? Rather than just, I'm going to be Greymon, he becomes the thingy Greymon. So that they could just claim it was slightly different. But yes, I actually quite liked Tamers. I didn't mind Tamers, although, granted, I think one of the big complaints of Tamers, I say complaints, I don't know, it may have been split down the middle, complaints and praise, but the sexy fox Digimon. No, it wasn't Black War Greymon, I don't think. There was definitely one like that, but I think... But yeah, I think the basic evolution of Agumon also had sort of a slightly altered name. But I can't remember what it is. It's been so long. I see. Agunimon does not ring any bells, but still. Maybe it's not Frontier that I saw then. Oh, that is slightly peculiar. Is Nickerin a Digimon fan, or is that another thing you're trying to force him into watching? So I underestimated his dark power. Oh, fuck. I must save my cat child. Poor Xiaofang, please forgive me. Oh, unless this cat child might be dead. Difficult to say. The cat child's disappeared. I shall give my life to extend yours.
I shall shit myself to extend your lives.
Fairymon might be a sexy one, but no, it's a different... Renamon, that's the one. That's the one. The sexy fox girl is definitely the one. Then I think in... Obviously the other sort of sexual one was Lilymon. And I swear, I think in the other one I'm thinking of, Terriermon definitely... Oh, Terriermon was in was in Tamers, yes. Terriermon was not an over-sexualised one. He was a rabbit with a gun on his arm, if memory serves. It might not, but, you know. Leomon with a little girl. That I don't recall. Why, yes. I mean, chat does tend to occur.
But Master, it's all right, Shujin. My time has come and gone. The rest I leave to you.
The old man! I barely knew you, and you're dead. That seems to happen a lot to this group.
Master Shifa, young Hyuga, do not fear the dark. If you accept it, it will protect you in return. Then what frightens you will also disappear.
No, you old fool, we're not going to let you die here.
I'll transport you to Samsara Pavilion with the last of my strength. Good luck. Now go to Kwai Tower and rescue the girl.
Yes! Cyber Sleuth. I did enjoy that game. Or, okay, this is where I keep meaning to look it up. There are 2 Cyber Sleuth games, aren't there? And I've got the first one, and I've not played the second one. However, I do want to play the second one at some point. It's collapsing. But luckily, we were teleported immediately out of there, because the old man sacrificed himself for our sake. And we've lost Alice. If that was a plot point you missed, we lost Alice.
But what the fucking shitting fucks?
Yes, they finally started something. Yes, Digimon Try, I definitely want to have a crack at. I just keep... It's one of those ones where I keep looking it up, seeing if it turns up on one of the sort of like... I'm kind of hoping it would turn up on Amazon Prime, because that's available to me, and therefore I could easily watch it. But I also looked out for some of the sort of DVDs available as well. And if they get to a point where, oh, that's really fucking cheap, fuck it, have those. Because I own the original film on DVD, but nothing else. The Caligula Effect. Ooh, that name rings a bell. Don't know for positive or negative reasons, but it definitely rings a bell. I think that's one on my list of sort of... I think it might be on my good old games wish list, potentially.
So it's finally time. Take your troops underground. We don't know what's down there, so proceed with extreme caution.
Yes, ma'am. I would do exactly what you say, ma'am.
Now, is that? I assume is that the original FF7? Have you had a crack at the remake of FF7? Because, oh boy, I enjoyed the remake of FF7. It was good shit. Find it online. Yeah, that's probably another option. I don't know. I tend to avoid that for the most. I've got no good reason to avoid it. I just tend to not think of it. It's one of those ones because I've got, you know, I could grab Mandalorian and Witcher online as well, and it's just like I just don't think of it while I'm at my. The problem is when I'm at my computer, it's mostly a case of let's play a game or actually do something productive, but mostly let's play a game. And so it tends to be like, oh, I could watch something online, or I could play a game. Let's play a game. Kato, it doesn't hurt to trust in people now and then. All right, let's move out. Lieutenant Colonel should be here. Not played the remake. Original, yes. The original, very good, obviously. I mean, it's a fucking legend of games. There is not, you know, there is no two ways around it. It's a fucking good game. But yeah, the remake, ooh, the gameplay was fun. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say it was better. Well, it's different to the original. That's the key thing. I mean, I I can't state that it is better than the original, but I couldn't tell you with an honest statement. I couldn't say the original is better than the remake. It's one of those ones where they are sufficiently different that they're both very, very enjoyable. And this might not necessarily be a recommendation for Final Fantasy VII Remake, but it's the way I thought of it when I decided to have a go. Now, I didn't get all the way through because fuck that fucking house. Oh, there's a man who's about to be banned from the chat. And yes, I do mean you, Caliber. Yes, I do. But to tell you that it's good, I will state this. For the most part, when I play a game, I play the story mode and then that's it. Normal difficulty, play through the story, done and dusted. Final Fantasy VII Remake, I actually played through the story on normal mode, got all the way to the end, and genuinely, now don't get me wrong, I was fucking wrong, but genuinely at the end of the game I thought, this is a really good game. I think maybe I could do this on hard mode. And so I restarted the entire game on hard mode and did each chapter in hard mode to unlock some extra bonuses. The unfortunate thing is it turns out the fucking house is a fucking nightmare on normal mode and a fucking travesty on hard mode. It's fucking atrocious. And yes, hello Mr. Caliber, and you know nothing of Final Fantasy VII Remake, so you can take your opinion, you can shove it straight up your ass. Yes, I don't want to necessarily spoil it too much, although I probably have already anyway, but there is a boss in Final Fantasy VII Remake which is essentially a big fucking house, and it's a fucking travesty of a boss. Now, I grant you, I think maybe I struggle with it because you have to, I think you basically have to play the element game, but I don't tend to equip all of the elements as my general materia choices, which made it slightly more difficult. But normal mode, it was like really a pain in the arse. Then hard mode, lo and behold, it summoned fucking Tonberries. And do you know what Tonberries do? Do you remember what Tonberries do? They stab you in the fucking bollocks with a fucking chef's knife and insta-kill you. I hate that house. I hate it so much. But yes, so I got to the house. I tried it once. It took me about 30 minutes to lose. I swore my ever-loving tits off and have not gone back to the game since. So, but nonetheless, there is a point to be taken away, and that is that Final Fantasy VII Remake was good enough to make me think, I'll try this on hard mode a second time round immediately after having done it the first time. So I think that is a shining example of it being a worthy game to play. Where are we? We're in the fucking the Samsara Pavilion. There you go, he's told you, and you should recognise it, you donut. I don't know why I called him a donut. I was going to call him a donkey. I think the word I was going to use was donkey's anus, and it became donut. I don't know if I'm just hungry, but real talk about the remake then. I'm sure the Crisis Core style gameplay is alright, and obviously the graphics, yes. For a game that is beloved for its story, why oh why? Yes, why? Did they violate it? I don't think they did. For the most part, they have stuck in this first part, at the very least. This is now we are. If anybody has not played it and is planning on playing it, then you probably want to tune out now, because I feel like this is Malice has already seen the story, maybe. But did I play? Yeah, of course I played Final Fantasy fucking 7. I'm the one who knows that Zeldink's birthday. Admittedly, this is Final Fantasy 8, but I'm the one who knows Zeldink's birthday is fucking March 17th. I am the master of Final Fantasy. Thank you very much. But I don't think. I think, without spoiling it too much, I think that you think that them adjusting the elements of the story Yeah. Now, see, you think that's a bad thing. So it's interesting to behold that there is a schism in the remake, in the people who have played... Well, you haven't played it, but I played it. That there's a schism between people thinking that's actually quite a good direction to go in and people who think that's a travesty. It is fascinating to me that we are absolutely on opposite sides of that. Because I like the fact that they went, let's do something a bit different. I genuinely, when they said we're going to do a remake, I thought, I mean, yeah, it'll look better, but if I want a remake, I don't really need a remake. I can just sort of play the original. The fact that they have actually altered it in a significant-ish fashion, they may very well just suddenly go, oh, sorry, we pissed a load of people off, we're backing out on that one. That is a perfectly good question. And the reason they went for the popularity is because it would sell it would sell the game, I suppose. But nonetheless, I like the fact that they went in a slightly different direction. I do. I genuinely do. Data Squad! That's the one I've seen. That is the one I've seen. But I loved that game, and I will, I'm perfectly willing to defend it to a certain extent, at least, because I thought it was fantastic. And I think they've set it up beautifully to possibly do something a little bit different and a little bit interesting, while keeping the sort of the core idea of Final Fantasy VII whilst exploring different options. And I like that idea. Master Shifa transported us here, didn't he? We've got no time to waste. We've got to get back to Shanghai before this place collapses. Okay, we have to get Shanghai. I don't... health bar seems fine. There is no save point available, which is a bit... Oh, hey! Shocking! I suppose, yeah. Usually I can't defend your statements because they're usually correct. So, fine. You win. You enjoy winning, so you win. But, I think it's quite an interesting idea. And I genuinely like the fact that it's not just a perfect, scene for scene replay of the original. I think I quite like the fact that they've gone, let's have a go. Let's have a bit of a fiddle with it. Let's explore something. And in fact, I mean, it's the guy behind Kingdom Hearts, isn't it? Is it Nobuo? Is that his name? No, I think I'm thinking of the fellow who does the music. Nobuo Uematsu is the music guy. Probably butchered his name, and I apologise, but I suspect he's never going to watch this. Yes, it is the Kingdom Hearts guy, so, it's quite interesting to behold him doing, different things. Where do you think you're going in such a hurry? Oh, it's our favourite friend, Wigui. That Dewey doesn't miss a bit, does he, leaving Wigui behind to block our return? You just don't know when to give up, do you? You here for another beatdown? You've caught me at a bad time. I won't forgive you over my dead body. And if Wigui has his way, that's exactly what's going to happen. I think this is going to be full demon form Wigui. Yes, there we go. Full demon form Wigui. He is no longer as gooey. I suppose actually he's probably more gooey. It's difficult to tell. The textures aren't the best here, but hey, they were the best they could have. So I think I'm gonna. I suppose technically he's dark, isn't he? So I could go Heaven's Fiend. As I say, it's genuinely fascinating to see, and I suppose to a certain extent this is what usually happens with us in some of these cases, but we are so on the opposite sides of the band. We are on opposite sides of the bandwagons. There's two two fleets of bandwagons mooching down the road, and we are on opposite ones because, as I say, I've seen some of the sort of extra. What Culture has done some discussions, and there has apparently been this sort of schism in the fans of Final Fantasy VII, where some have gone off in the direction of, yes, this is fascinating to know what he's going to do, what they're going to do with it, where they're going to go. And there's other people like you who are like, no, fuck you changing, fuck you. And it's fascinating, genuinely fascinating. Anyway, we're going to try Heaven's Fiend, because A, it gives me the multi-kills, and B, it gives me the light against his darkness, which may or may not help me. So I could use Exorcist Arrow. Yeah, go on, we'll use Exorcist Arrow. Have a go. Come and have a go if you think you can exercise. I don't. I do not exercise. Oof. Why am I a legless angel made of a Union flag? Well, you see, that's because I unlocked the latest of my doodads, my fusions, and my fusion happens to be a legless angel made of the Union flag.
Yeah, I could use some help.
It is, I believe, what did I call it? I literally just said the name, but fuck it, oh well. So war, what is it good for? As specified, he is a dark element, so being the light element is probably going to be quite useful. However, I don't remember what this does. I mean, it definitely will not do anything to him. Oh, that's a bad. I might need Yuri not to be in the angel form, but I don't know for certain. What I also would need to do, I would need. Let's try and get Yuri back up, because now he's fallen out of his fusion mode. It's plausible his dark element will actually protect him from that. So I tell you what we'll do. We won't fuse him again. We'll just punch. If I'd remembered that we were going to face Wagui, and I may find myself having to restart it, that's going to be a problem, because that's going to be a save point that's quite a distance away, which is going to be an issue. Yes, I think we're basically done. Oh yeah, I mean, Dark Souls is horrendous. I mean, kudos for you for sticking with it, because genuinely, I just give up with it every fucking time. I mean, the furthest I think I have ever got... I have not seen your stream from last night, no. Life Sucker, yes! I think... Oh, Life Sucking Darkness Cock. Darkness Cock! We don't need your Darkness Cock. But, I mean, the furthest I've ever gotten is the latest one I tried, which was... I got to the Bell Gargoyles and just got bored. And that's the key problem for me whenever I play Dark Souls. I just get bored. I mean, there's a certain level of anger that I possess naturally, and Dark Souls triggers that anger immediately. But then it just continues, and it's just like... now I'm bored. Unfortunately, Yuri is dead again. It's surprisingly difficult to heal myself well without Alice in the field, so that's proving a problem. I suppose I could... No, I can't risk going... Now I've used up a fusion, I can't really risk the sanity points to fuse Yuri again, because then he's going to be as low as everybody else, and that will be a problem. Leaving him alone is potentially going to be the superior option, but healing him... Oh, I know it only gets worse after the Bell Gargoyles. You know, I've seen the game, and it's fascinating, really, because I actually watched, and I think I mentioned this previously, but I don't know who was present at the time. But I watched, and as far as I know, this information is correct. But I watched the fella called Elijah, something along those lines. He did a crack at the sort of world record of the speed run for the bosses, and it's interesting watching him do the bosses, because it's all sort of like slightly glitched methods and slightly sort of cheeky ways of doing things. But it is fascinating to see him like, okay, this boss he does in 2 seconds with an exact, you know, it is that sort of absolute perfect exact situation. It's like that first boss, the Asylum Demon. What you do as a speedrunner for that is you pick up the black fire bombs as your starter item, you get into exactly the right position in that boss arena, and you fling the fire bombs. And if you do it correctly, it times out so that the first firebomb you throw is exactly exploding when the creature lands. And it's genuinely fascinating to behold some of these speed runs of something like that, certainly. And, you know, like some of the others, there's a Gwyn, maybe? Chester might be able to sort of clarify, because I think he's a bit more of a pro. Shit. Why did he heal? Fuck. I think I used my grenade, didn't I? And he healed off of the grenade. That's bad. Okay, Yuri is not safe from death. Oh, okay, the game's death? It's a problem. It's a fucking problem. It's a problem. It's a fucking problem. It's a problem. It's a fucking problem. Right, so, I wish I knew that this fight was coming, then I could have prepared. I wonder if Death Emperor is going to be immune to death. I don't think so, is the honest truth. I think the only thing I would have that would allow me to be immune to death, and I don't think I can change my equipment, I would very much need to be... I would need more Leonardo's bears. And unfortunately, because I didn't think or know Wugui was going to come up as the next problem, I did not get to equip enough of the Leonardo's bears, which unfortunately it means this bloody thing keeps dying. The bloody thing bloody keeps bloody dying. This is an uphill struggle and a half. I don't know if I can do it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And ultimately I think DS is just not a well put together thing. Most people would probably agree, but I bet there's some people who'd go, how dare you, you fucker. But that's because some people are so far off Dark Souls' arse, they are peering out its mouth. When it has alarmingly simplistic combat system, ultimately. Oh, damn, boy. You're lucky you're saying that in this stream, and make sure you whisper it, because fuck me, people are going to be unhappy with you saying that shit. Oh, you're shitting on Dark Souls' combat system? Fuck off! Oh, living dangerously, boy. Living dangerously. Fuck. My sanity points does not have... Oh, I will not fight you. But the internet will. Disagree on part on that. Has been very lazy with the games. Oh, there's nothing more pressing than this. Okay, so if I don't have any of the things. Well, the key thing with Dark Souls is you have to learn what the enemies are going to do, and then you just do what you need to do. Yeah, and that's where most people classify it as get good. You have to memorise the patterns of every single boss and every single enemy. But as I say, I mean personally, the ones I've tried are Demon Souls, the original, and Dark Souls, and Bloodborne, and all three of them they wind up just growing tedious, because for me it tends to be like, and this links back to what I was saying earlier, I don't do repeat things. Oh fuck, I forgot. Just don't shoot one of our friends. I really could have done with you not grenading anything either. Yeah, I think that's going to heal him. Shit. Ooh, okay. This is a little bit screwed. Arg. I mean, I mean, at least I need to deal with bloody. I need to deal with her prior to dealing with it. Oh fuck you, he's dead. Cocking cock. More and more I am seeing this is inevitably going to be a restart. Because I was just not equipped for this. I was not equipped for this battle. The annoying... The whole sort of, here's a fucking... Inconveniently, it was a while ago. It was a while ago. So we will have to chew through substantial amounts of dialogue in order to do it. Now see, Nio, I still haven't completed. I still haven't done anything with that one. But nonetheless, Nio, at the very least, I did quite like the... I did quite like the battle system in Nio, because there's a bit more sort of like... You get a little bit more bonus for dodging, I think, and stuff. And it was actually genuinely... Oh, Neo. Oh, I do apologise. I do apologise. Nio, as it's now going to be permanently called, just to really fucking grind it into your fucking soul. Just gonna grind my knuckle into your soul. By calling it Nio. Nio was actually one of the better ones. Oh well, we're now dead. Ugh. Cock munching pricking cocks. Cock munching pricking cocks. Cock munching pricking cocks. But yes, that one genuinely was quite good. And the one I also quite liked... right, I suppose what we need to do is quite a lot. I suppose technically the unfortunate inconvenience here is what I need to do is I need to find out what the fucking turbo button is, and I can't remember what the fucking turbo button is. I also I can't use that mouse because my controller's plugged in. Oh shitty shitty balls. Oh shitty 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 balls. Now where is that button? Bullets. There is a turbo button somewhere. I just don't remember the shortcut. I don't want to push buttons that I don't know what they do. Bastard. Bastard. Is that what I want? No, not really. But the other one I was going to mention is the Surge. Surge I quite enjoyed until they forced you. Do you know what? It's 10 o'clock anyway. What I might do... we'll rely on the save point later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put Shadow Hearts away for now, because and I'll try and perhaps I'll skip through the dialogue prior to next week and have a save state just prior to the battle. So we won't have to sit through all the dialogue a second time. We will just skip straight to it and we'll just do the battle. What I need to do, for those interested, what I need to do is I need to equip Leonardo's bear on the characters. Now that will probably also require me to buy more Leonardo's bears. So a lot of issues there. A lot of issues. But yes, the Surge I quite liked. I don't remember what its healing system is, so I can't necessarily comment on that. But what I really liked about the Surge was the whole chopping limbs off as their sort of primary gameplay mechanic. You chop the limbs off and you chop the bits off, and you have to focus on different bits to upgrade your bits, etc. I thought that was very clever. But the one thing I didn't like about it was there's an awkward sort of jump mechanic. I found it awkward. I'll clarify that one specifically. It's a very awkward sort of jumping mechanic, and I thought hopefully I'll get away with not needing it. But then they do introduce enemies that kind of you're required to use the jump to dodge their attacks in order to then get in and deal damage to them, and that was kind of at that point it was like, yep, I'm out, thank you, bye, goodbye, that's it for me, thank you. Anyway, right. What we're going to do is have a little breaky. Have a little breaky. Have a little breaky. With a little bit of music and a little bit of image. Then we'll we'll stop and start the stream in approximately 5 or so minutes. Tell you what, let's have some of that. Yes. Why in the world is Super Star Wars there? I legitimately don't know. Let's move you into the music file. Oh, that already exists in the music file. Well, that's just random. Fair enough. It's an instant heal. Now see, you saying that, I think there's both. I think you can do an instant heal and or heal over time type thing. Not necessarily, I don't know if your issue is that it instantly heals you, as in you push the button and it heals you, because that's a good thing. Souls can fuck off with its, I'll slowly take the thing and I'll slowly drink the thing, and makes it more realistic, I suppose, but also makes it seriously tiresome. It is not Star Trekking. We completed Star Trek. So let's just try and grab some music. Oh, that's more than enough music. Let's get rid of those 2 tracks. Remove from the list. There we go. So that's looking to cap out about 6 or 7 minutes. So after the break, we're going to do a restart, and I mean the title and the game you're playing on Twitch is going to give it away immediately, but nonetheless it is slightly mysterious at the moment. And but yeah, I know I beat it on hard mode. One of the easiest games in existence I beat on hard mode. It's an accomplishment and a slap in the face at the same time. Anyway, let's get the interim slideshow, and I will be back in approximately 5 or so minutes.